We are busy with physics. Melanie here. We are going to do pulleys today. Now, pulleys is an exceptional application of Newton's laws. And we use pulleys pulling up bricks at a yard where they're building. We are in cranes. We use pulleys when a garage door is going up and down in an electric garage door. So be very careful that you know where the application of pulleys are, and then from there on, you go and apply that in Newton's second law. Let's quickly do revision. Always identify all the forces. If it's tension, like in this case, a cable, and gravity. And then remember, there might be friction, but do you see there's no surface here? So in this case, there won't be any friction. After you've identified the forces, draw your free body diagram. Guys, even if they don't ask you to draw a free body diagram, you cannot do and see the picture. You cannot do this whole calculation if you haven't got a free body diagram. And then finally, before you start applying Newton's second law, see what is the direction. If this whole system is moving up, the upward force will be greater than the downward force. So the F net will be Ft minus Fg. If the movement is down, then can you quickly recall what we did? The Fg will be greater than the Ft, and the F net will then be Fg minus Ft. Let me quickly put that into quantity so that you know why we are saying it's moving up and down. If the upward force is 6 and the downward force is 4, you know it will be moving up. You know the difference between these two, it is 2. How did you get to 2? I took the 6 and I had the 4 that side. And if you subtract 4 from 6, you get 2. And in this case, it's forces, so it's Newton. Let's go to the downward, and we're again going to apply numbers. Let's say this is 6 and that is 3. So you can see it's larger to the bottom, so the Fg is bigger than the Ft or greater. So I've got 6 there and I've got 3 there. The F net will be 3. And in which direction? Down. So make sure that you identify the direction after you've identified all the forces. Let's have a look at a system where I've got blocks hanging from cables. I've got 3 kilograms suspended from, have a look at that, a cable or a wire or whatever, a string. 3 kilogram will break a string. That was a tension, and I'm naming this one T1. It is attached to the block at the bottom, which is 2 kilograms. So I've got another tension there, which is T2. Now remember, that will be strengthened. So the one will pull up and the other one down. But in this cable, the tension will be exactly the same. And then finally, please bear in mind that you've got gravity for the 2 kilogram as well as gravity for the 3 kilogram. So make sure that you understand what's been asked and what do they actually give you. You always have gravity if you have the mass. And then you've got all the other forces which you need to identify. Let's have a look. What am I going to do now? I am now going to draw them separately. I'm taking the 3 kilogram apart from the 2 kilogram. Why do we do that? So that we can get the system and collaborate and actually see if we can substitute some of the values in the other one. 3 kilogram has a gravitation. Do you know how to calculate that? We've done that before. It will be 3 times 9.8. And if you actually calculate that, you'll get a value of 29.4 Newton. What is the other forces? That's, I've got T1, I've got T2, which I haven't got a value for. The only value I have is that gravity and I calculated it just now. For the 2 kilogram, I do not have the tension in that cable between the 3 and the 2, but I can calculate the gravitation again. So I can again say it's 2 times 9.8, and you can check me and see if I got the correct answer. It's 19.6. Now going back to our first equation again, we remember we are busy with Newton's second law. We took this diagram and we said if it's going up or down, we then know which one will be greater. Now we see we've got a 3 and a 2, and in this case it might not even be moving, it's just hanging there. So let's have a look. For the 3 kilogram, let's say for instance it's just hanging there. I've got the T2 pulling upward, and I've got the T1, sorry. It's T1 pulling upward, T2 in between, minus the FG. Or we could say if it's not moving, the acceleration will be 0, then T1 will be equal to T2 plus Fg. Let me quickly show you on the diagram. We said we've got T1 there, and we've got the 2 forces downward, and have a look. T1 there, upward, equals the 2 forces downward. Because it's hanging still, there's no acceleration. Let's have a look at the 2 kilograms. Remember, it had the gravity downward, which we calculated as 19.6, and upward we had T2. If that's 0 again, we know the F net is 0, which will mean T2 is equal to 19.6. Now, for the first time now, you've got a value for one of the T's. And what you can do now, and we'll do an example just later on, we can actually substitute that 19.6 in this value. And we know that gravity was 29.4. And can you now see how I can calculate T1? T1 is the sum of those, which if you add them together will give you a 49 Newton. So it's easy if you actually take the different masses, make them separate systems, and calculate and substitute in Newton's law. Right, let's go to a more complex system. I've got a complex system because I've got more than 2 masses. Well, anything more than 1 is complex. I've got here a pulley system. Now, important to know, if I had a pulley system with a mass of, let's say, 40 here, do you think if I had a 3 kilogram and a 4 kilogram here, that 40 kilogram will move? Think about it. 40 kilogram is much greater mass than 3 plus 4. So in most cases, it won't be moving. But what happens now, in all the cases that you are going to get, they will tell you it's frictionless. So there's no friction there at that surface, which means it will indeed move that way because there's no friction. If we didn't have friction, then this friction here will be equal to that, which means it won't move. But now we have friction, and it's obviously frictionless, and it's obviously not enough to keep it. So you'll actually find that in all pulley systems, have a look, they'll say on a frictionless system. So be careful that you do not think, wow, this is a question that cannot be answered. Have a look at all the forces. Let's go and really have a look at the system. I want us to identify the forces first. Remember, we've done that every time. We always have gravitation. You can work that out. Mass times 9.8. Guys, do that immediately. You'll in any case get marks. If I've got this mass, can I work out that gravitation? And if I've got this mass, can I work out that gravitation? So there you always do that. And as I said, even if you don't know how to go further than that, you get marks by just actually working out the gravitation. Now, in this system, we've got cables pulling. Interesting, I've often find people thinking that this cable has got a different strength to that one. The tension will be exactly the same any part of any cable or string. So I've got T1 there and I've got T2 here. And remember what I did in the previous example. Go and draw your separate free body for every mass. So this one will be this mass there. Have a look. I've got T1 pulling to that side. I know I've got gravity. Because it's lying on a surface, you also have a normal. And remember we said, then there will be friction. The other two, they are hanging in the vertical. Therefore, this is horizontal, and these two have vertical forces. What's happening? I've got the T1, which is exactly the same there. Please bear that in mind. I've got T2, which is exactly the same as that one. And I have my gravity. So make sure that you've got all the forces identified after you drew your free body diagram. Then it won't be as difficult as you think. Let's have a look. I've got another complex system. Can you see I've got two masses now on a table? What do? You actually take that one, and that one, and you take them apart. What do I know? I always have the gravity. If this is lying on a surface, then you'll also have the normal force. This is hanging free, so there is no normal force. And then, as I said, draw the T1, the tensions, and you'll know exactly what's happening. In the next lesson, we'll actually do an exam question that was in one of the exams, and then you'll see exactly what to do. For now, I want you to be able to draw a free body diagram. Remember, a free body diagram identifying every force. And if you have calculated, actually put your answers in there. Remember your labels. And then you'll be asked to work out tensions and always the acceleration of the system. So there's lots of mathematics in this section, but you can actually override all the maths by really applying Newton's second law in physics. So all of the best doing this. Have this separate free body diagrams. Please, please, please. Do not think you can do that, all of them together. Then you'll probably have the acceleration or the velocity. The velocity you will start working with when we do energy. But in this case, the acceleration. Now, the one thing that many of us forget is that we want the different masses to actually move in different accelerations. If they are bound with cables or strings, all of them will work in the same direction. It will be moving, let's say for instance, like that, and every mass will be exactly with the same acceleration. Have the applied forces, one object at a time. I cannot stress that enough. One object at a time. And then finally, when you get the simultaneous equations, you just go and do the math and you'll be able to work out the tension and the acceleration. I really hope that you take this lesson, and if you want to have a look at it again and again, it will make sure that you get most of the marks for this question. Right, the direction of movement. I need to stress this again. It's all of them the same axis. That will be if they are moving in the same direction or horizontal. Remember, if it's multiple axes, I've got X movement. What's X again? Horizontal. But I could also have Y movement, which is down here. Then you've got to be careful. But if both of them is on the horizontal plane or in the vertical, it's easy. So make sure that you know. In this case, the velocity and acceleration will be equal. It will be in the same direction. In this case, it won't be in the same direction. As you see, This one is going to the right, but this one is going downward. So that's not that difficult if you visualize and see the masses in front of you. Again, identify the direction. Is it horizontal? Is it just vertical? Or is it like that? Then it's got horizontal and vertical components. Apply Newton's law. What is Newton's law? It says the net force has an influence on the acceleration. You always will have masses. You always will have enough forces. Even if you have some that's unknown, you will know the direction will indicate to you it's down minus the upward force or the left to the right. So let's see if you can do in the next calculation in the example that you can actually see how to do the mathematics. Finally, define again. Every question will start with a definition. Draw your free body and then apply. And I can't stress this enough. Pulley systems, each mass with its own free body diagram and its own equation. I hope you enjoy pulleys. They are complex, but I'm sure you can take this challenge. Have a look at this clip again and again until you get it, and let's do the next example. Bye-bye.